Right? When you see an Edomite woman, remember, man, doing a double tap. They don't do that, right? They don't have that spirit to them, right? You know,
And all the women after with temples and with dances.
yeah. So that's after when we have these feast days, man, right? Feast days, holy gathering convocations. Hey, get your groove on, man. Feel like man, right? Let's get the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, 31, and let's start at verse 19.
This is Deuteronomy 31, verse 19.
Yep.
Now therefore write ye this song for you, and teach it to the children of, put it in their mouth, may be a witness for me.
How there's even songs that they condemn us, because it tells you when people tell you, hey man, when you go off, I know I'm gonna be on you. Right. So there's songs. This whole Bible, the whole word is a song essentially. Some people don't like the sound of it. Some people that that's where we're kind of going to go to the lesson as well in terms of like gathering together and like brotherhood and sisterhood, right? Some people they don't like the hearing the truth. They don't like shutting their ears like this, right? No, I don't want to hear. Turn that Bible off, right? Because that's essentially people that have they have spirits, man. You know what I'm saying? That go contrary to what the Most High has ordained. And that's normal. So you shouldn't be upset with someone. I don't believe in that Bible stuff. People, are you still in that Hebrew stuff? That's what people say, right? But we shouldn't be feel condemned, right? But it says some songs are there witness against us, right? Let's read on.
Verse 20, for when I shall have brought them into the land which I swear unto their fathers, that floweth with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten and filled themselves and waxen fat, then will they turn unto other gods and serve them and provoke me and break my covenant.
So when people ask, oh, well, why are people going through this? It's ordaining. This was all the Most High knew. It's like Adam, right? I knew Adam was going to go off, right? Most High were going to go off, right? It's just as much as it's prophesied we would go into captivity, we would do this. Prophesied. The reason why we done it is because everybody's different people, man, straight up and down, right? And it says when they are eaten and they're filled, right, and waxed. When you get fat, you get puffed up, you're overexcited. No one's better than me. That's what our people have, right? And when you come into the truth, you learn about having humility. You know what I'm saying? You know about I've got to chill out, and essentially that comes down to just keeping, mind your own business.
This is Deuteronomy 6, verse 11. And houses full of good things which thou fillest not, wells dig which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest. Then thou shalt have eaten and be full. Then lest thou forget the Lord which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. None of us do things on our own. It comes from, that's why there's no such thing as bad luck and good luck. It's what our fathers and that's why he says who's sanctioning your things. That's why the shelter over your heads, the clothes on our back, the things that we take for granted, let's not forget to give us that, right down to our health, that can come out on the Shabbat and praise Him
to do is have the spirit to gather together. Right? Can't. So let's get the classics. Let's get Genesis 49. Right? We'll get Genesis 49 and we'll start from verse 1. Right? Because it's anyone that has a spirit of not wanting to gather together, gotta kind of watch that person. Right? People are like, we're gonna gather together. Oh, you know what? I can't stop making excuses, man. Right? But then you'll see on their WhatsApp story, they're at the Aunt Tabitha's all white party. Right? Right? At the all white party, man. Right? Or the all black party or whatever, man. Right? But and then they kind of just turn up out of nowhere and they got their fringes on. Right? You gotta watch people like that, man.
God.
Right? They're eager to, indulge in Babylonian kind of revelry, but come together. Nah, that's far. But these times, you travel from Manchester all the way to London, man,
God.
to do God knows what, and then you went back home, right? But let's read that.
The book of Genesis 49 and verse 1. And Jacob said, gather yourselves together.
No, stay on.
Gather yourselves together,
Right?
that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Right. So we have to gather, and that's a commandment, right? The child of Jacob, and you need to be gathering. Oh, nah. You know what? Nah, King. I'm not really in the spirit to gather together. That's off. I'm not in, because if you're saying you're not in the spirit to gather together, you're moving contrary to what the Most High has actually told you. God, and that's evil, right? Gathering together, like even Lord, when we'll get into it, but there's even in a relationship, man, with your wife or even a brother, like hugging, right? There's a what they call it, there's certain things that it does, right, within your mind that actually help, man. You know what I'm saying, right? So presence is an important thing. You know what I'm saying, right? Let's get your precept.
Yeah,
Can't bring it.
this is the book of Ecclesiastes.
It's all right. Or Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 9.
Come on.
It says, two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor.
Right. So that's kind of gathering together and brotherhood, one and the same. So again, if you're, you can't be by yourself, man. Some people say, it's a holy convocation. Holy convocation really goes to gathering. It can't be a holy convocation. It's just you, right? And your damn hamster, man, right at your house. Oh yeah, kind of say Shabbat Shalom to the hamster. You're reading the precepts. Yeah, and they're just running on. They have God knows no idea what you're talking about. They're just running on some will. And yeah. Right. We'll get into it. So it says about two being better than one. Right, just like the Most High said, it's not good for a man to be alone, right? But hey, if that's your lot, then that's your lot. You know what I'm saying, right? Let's read on.
Verse 10, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow,
Right.
but woe to him that is alone.
So it says, woe meaning destruction. The man that's by himself, and that's, again, let's go to Mark 5. We'll go back to that, right? Now I got this kingdom. So you get all bugged out, man. You're by yourself. You're just in some dark cave, right? It's in the darkness, man. Right? It's like Edomite spirit, man. Them kids in the dark room. Now turn off the light, mom. Right? That's that spirit, man. Right? You gotta be, and that's why it's always good to have sisters, brothers, sisterhood, brotherhood. That's the whole point of gathering together. Because then there's someone to always check. Oh, what are you getting up to, man? Anyone that say, why you always asking me what I'm getting up? That's off, man. That's off. Oh, what are you getting up to? Why don't you mind your business? Start bringing out precepts and justify yourself. That's off. Right, let's go to Mark 5 and let's start at verse 1.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 5 and verse 1.
Yep.
And they came over unto the other side of the sea in the country of the Gadarenes. And when
so and this guy was by himself, man. Just come out of nowhere. That's why when you walk around in certain areas late at night, right? Spirits is everywhere. They're just walking around and you got a light them, right? Just out of nowhere, right? These are spirits, right? Hey, let's read on.
Verse 3, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains.
So they couldn't hold this guy down, man. You know, right? And again, you're amongst the dead anyway, as it is. So even in a spiritual sense, when you're amongst those that are in the congregation of the dead, you know, I believe that's in Proverbs, your mindset, you're gonna be just like unto the next man, because that guy, he's already off, right? It's like, imagine I'm telling Elder Gideon, all right, yeah, nah, forget your wife, come, we're getting bookings, right? And I start doing this, I'm shaking two magnums, man. Got to go and bookie. If he says, all right, and that's why in truth you have to have integrity, man, right? Because you'll be easily succumbed by these spirits, man, because you'll be joined unto him, right? Especially when you're by yourself.
God.
No one can do this truth by themselves. Even at camp, you can't. It's hard to do it by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God.
You know.
Yeah.
But hey, let's read on.
This is Mark chapter 5 and verse 4.
Yeah.
Because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces, neither could any man tame him.
So he had heavy spirits.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the people that, you know, they shut away wisdom, knowledge, understanding, right, or gathering together. Those are, because this man, he was a legion, I believe, right? So you know, we are many, I think, when we done, right? He by himself, so there's no one to correct him, no one to rebuke him, to give him exhortation, to give him love. So he's just harnessing spirits, man. Just like, for example, you know, say you stay at home, you just, well, during that, man, right, when I finish school, you're just at home, man, you're not doing nothing, you're putting on bare weight, you just start there, just eating pizzas, right? Ice cream pizzas, man, microwave pizzas, you're just eating that, right? You're just like you harness, just from the spiritual sense, being complacent, lazy, slothful, idle, that's gonna just harness more and more spirits, man. Right?
Verse 5, and always night and day he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself.
See
with
that
stones.
suicide spirit, man. Right? He's just damn. Oh, you know what I'm saying, right? It's not really that's off. That's off. Right? Go on.
Verse 6, but when he saw Yahushua afar, he came and worshipped him.
Because remember, these demons, they're going to submit, right? When you really, and that's why we're going back into that praise and worship. When you're saying things, right? Essentially, that's like you letting go of that burden, man. Right, let's get James chapter 4. James 4. Right? Because the demons, they tremble, man. When again, try and tell someone that's in the world, hey, you got to stop seeking women. Say, no. You know the game, man. You know how the game is. Right? It's again start itching. When you start someone that's wicked and evil, anything to do with righteousness, start scratching, man. That's something. Oh man, you can't tell me that, man. You know, I'm trying to be like Solomon. Hey, but you know, even Solomon kept the commandments.
Yeah.
Right? You went off, but Solomon kept the command. Like, yeah, no, I just can't. You know how he's Solomon, man. Right? And you can tell a man is known by his countenance, man, as well. Right? Let's get James 4 and 7.
Yeah. This is James 4 verse 7. Submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil.
Do what?
Resist the devil.
So some people they said they open their door wide open for Satan. They don't want to invite people back. Maybe let's have like a prayer session, or let's go through the Bible. They open their door. Yeah, Satan, come on in. Yeah, all the demons. That's what people have in their mindset, man. And that's, you know, when you see people's like living conditions or, you know, certain things, it's come from here, man. It's come from the mindset that you have, right? Someone check on you, right? And brothers do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how you doing, man? Seeing brothers home, coming to bed, right? You got to have that spirit, man, right? Let's go. Is there more on that?
Yeah, it says, I'll read it again. James 4 and 7. Submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
See that? Right? And the devil, hey, he's the ultimate mind game, right? He does the mind game. It's all mind. Your mind is off. You're thinking, oh, no, I'm by myself. Because when you're by yourself, there's no correction. Just like in school. There was no teachers in school, right? Hasn't been around. There's no order. There's no, okay, maybe the elder, like whatever. There's no, it's chaos. right? And then Esau finds a way, okay, to take away your children, right? That's how it works, man. But let's go back to Mark 5, right? So this man, right, he had the spirit of being by himself. He didn't want, right? He's just in darkness, right? Just spiritual darkness, right? Let's read verse 5.
Crying themselves with stones. But when he saw how Shia far off, he came to cried in a loud voice and said, "What have to do with me? How Shia, the son of the Most Forgotten, I adjure thee by God that thou meant me not."
And that goes back to the point of right? You kind of got to get your brothers sometimes. You get your sisters sometimes, right? If you're just passive and you just let things slide, you build up. They will ultimately. If you see somebody, like we say, oh, how we show love is by what is by correction, innit? Love is correction.
Right.
To say and say, okay, no, I keep smoking that 3-5, right? Yeah, keep smoking, that'd be good. That's someone that hates you. You want to say, oh yeah, keep hanging out. But not that it's often by the bookies, right? Not often by the bookies. But your mind is just set on, it's ultimately idolatry. Your mind just set, I just fucking. Looked after your kid, right? It's just money. Eugene Krabs, man, right? Look, he said.
Verse, he said, no, verse 8, it says, "For he said unto him, Come out of the land, thou unclean spirit." And he asked him, "What is thy name?" And he answered, saying, "My name is Legion, for we are many."
Yeah. So these spirits, they have names, man, right? Kind of what spirit are you? And there's many different spirits that Satan, obviously he uses, man. Right, the lonely spirit. I don't want to be outside spirit, man. Right, weed spirit. That's it, because it makes you slothful. You slumber a bit. You're comfortable. I don't want to be. I like my own time. Let's get your reason.
This is the book of Hebrews.
We can't be what's the word, man? Caught up with sin essentially, man. Right? And it says exhorting one another. Sometimes you might exhort, sometimes you might rebuke, sometimes we correct, sometimes we show love. And essentially those things, they're all under the same umbrella, right? They're all under the same umbrella. Let's get Revelation 3, verse 19. But this is still on the point of brotherhood and gathering together. And so, like, yeah, to those who I think we kind of keep stuck in and out, but we can make further progress, right? Yeah. It was Revelation.
Yeah. Revelation 3 and verse 19. "As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous therefore and repent."
They said,
Be zealous therefore and repent.
right? You want to have a mind, man. You can't get wrong, man, right? Again,
of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil,
Right.
neither tempteth he any
So
man.
don't try and say, oh, it's the most high, it's the most high. You got to deal with that, man. God did this to me. Right? We're all going to be go through trials and tribulations, man. It's natural. This is not Christianity, right? You just expect everything to be going well, right? You might be getting these what's some letters, man? These damn letters, and the red box around it saying pain, right? Final notice, spirit, right? But these times you don't keep the commandments, man. You're doing all you need to do, and the guy sending you and he called your number. Yeah, listen, mate. Right, if you don't pay, we're gonna. You know, these times it's not even in your name, but he's got your number, right? So you remember Jeremiah. Hey, he went into captivity. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing wrong. He went into captivity. So we're gonna experience these things, man. You got precept.
Good. No. This is Sirach 15 and verse 11.
Yeah.
It says, "Say not thou, it is through the Lord that I fell away."
See that? Oh yeah. You see, maybe it was maybe it was the spirit that I committed adultery. Yeah. That's off, right? That's someone that's what's it? Cop outs. You're just trying to find a reason. Yeah, maybe the reason why it's like I realized, like, you know, right? And that's the whole point of you know, when you gather together and people hold you accountable. You're by yourself. No one's telling you nothing. When you drive, like, imagine, you know, sometimes when I'm driving with my sometimes kind of you're driving. Brother's like, no, don't do that. And I'm just like, oh. When I'm by myself, but when I'm by myself, it's obviously different. I'm like sitting back and I'm doing this, and I'm comfortable. But it's always good to have a second witness, 2 or 3 witnesses. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, now you see that, sister. Yeah, we all saw, right? We all saw what happened, right? Is there any more on that?
Yeah, come on. So Sirach 15 and 11, it says, "Say not thou, it is through the Lord that I fell away, for thou oughtest not to do the things that he hated."
Right. See, it's plain. To do the things that the Most High hates. You I don't know, you're stealing, and you expect, God made me do this. No, right? Stop using scapegoats, man. Now you're trying to go to Leviticus, and you say, oh yeah, Leviticus 16, oh, that's the scapegoat, right? That goat went that way, and this one that's off, right? They can't trying to find cop-outs, man. That's why when in Brotherhood, hold people accountable. Someone says, okay, I'm gonna be here, and then I hold them accountable. Because once you don't say nothing, it's turn into a yes man.
Yeah, get used to it.
Right. So you build up that respect the person spirit. So Brotherhood is done, and we have to be justified by the precepts, not by our minds, right? And what we think. If we do what we wouldn't be here. Right. I think this. I feel like I should stay at home today. Yeah. You start talking to you're right. Yeah, you done a lot today, man. Nah, man. You need to have brothers, sisters around you that can correct you with love, exhortation, right? And it's got to be done, man. Right? Go on, think. Precept. We can probably read it if you call it.
Oh, Isaiah 55, 8.
This is Isaiah 55 and verse 8.
Yeah.
And it reads, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts,
Right.
neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord."
And 9, read that.
Verse 9, "For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts."
God, you see, I'm with you. I'm still on earth.
Right.
Yahweh is in heaven. Yahweh is in heaven.
Right.
You understand? We're nowhere near him in what he thinks. You know, this is his way, not my way. You know, we are the highway. We go on the highway. It's his way or the highway. You know, which is death, spiritual death.
Right.
You know, so no praise to the Most High. Yeah, it's not what we think, it's what our Father tells us.
Right.
Come.
You got a piece of pen?
Like,
Let's go back to Ecclesiastes 4. Because again, we're still on that point of gathering together. And it's all linking up. We're not just saying we're going random places. Just highlighting in Mark 5, Luke 1:12 and 12. A lot of the time when you're by yourself, that's when the temptation is actually going to be on you. Because again, your thoughts, right? Your mind is wicked. Your mind is so wicked because of what it can think about. You might not carry out the action, right? You start thinking. See, like some things they don't want to say. You start thinking, right? Because it says in Proverbs, I think 23:7 about how though he sit and eat with you, his mind is somewhere else, basically, right? Lord willing, okay, bring it, please.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 37, and verse 14. It says, "For a man's mind is sometime what to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in an high tower." So yeah, basically, like the brother's saying, your mind is thinking of all sorts of things. When idle, it's just going to think of one thing, then, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, imagine a watchman that's on the tower, and he's telling the people, "Oh yeah, look, they're coming from there, they're coming from there, they're coming." Now they're not going to know what's going on, right? You know. So, your mind, if you're not rooted in this truth, it can make you.
And even that, like the brother said, you can't be a watchman, right? You're maybe on the tower, right? You're thinking about, oh, what's my rib cooked for dinner? What did she cook? And all these into the kingdom, and man, running into the temple or whatever. They just, what did she cook? You know, thinking about some kind. Thinking about, I wonder how the kids will do. There's time and place for everything. Right, we Ecclesiastes 9 again.
Yeah. Four. This is Ecclesiastes. I'll start from 9 again.
Yeah, we'll read down.
All right, cool. This is Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 and 1.
Right.
Because they have a good reward for their labor.
Right.
For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he have not another to help him up.
Right.
Again, if 2 lie together, then they have. But how can one be warm alone?
Right, exactly. Right. Because body heat, man. Right. I remember when the first time tabernacles, right, I was in there by myself. I was freezing. Right, I was freezing. You know, you by yourself, you're trying to turn this way, maybe be warm on that side. You need to turn again. Right. So when you're by yourself, right, you kind of don't know, what do I do? Right. You overthink. Right, so then 2 is better than 1 because you need that body heat, man. Right, let's read on. Is there more?
Verse 12. And if 1 prevail against him, 2 shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken.
Right, because again, let's say two Edomites come in here now. Right, they're trying to do a mad thing. Right. There's 5 of us, right? 3 sisters, right? Do you think, but again, that goes to be on one accord. Now we kind of don't know, we start panicking and everybody trying to climb through the windows, right? People's shoes are getting stuck in the building, they're kind of pulling you back in, right? But if we're on one, right? People are tripping over, the menorah's falling, like the insects is burning, you know what I'm saying, right? Right. Trying to open chairs to climb out the window. And we got again, when you're together on one mind, ain't none of that's happening, man. When we're all on the same accord, the spirit of gathering, of brotherhood, you can't get emotional, man. I get emotional. Why did she correct me like that? Why would she do that? Right? That's love. That's love. And that's in this truth, I realize, again, when you bring your emotion, right, that's where you slowly start to seep away from what the Bible says. Right? And then that's it. I'm not thinking it.
Yeah. First Maccabees 4 and 6.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 60. Says, at that time also they built up the Mount Sinai high walls and strong towers round about, lest they come and tread down as they had done before. And they set their garrison to keep fortified Bethsura to preserve it, that the people might have defense against idumia.
God, God. So that's we together, again being together, So if three devices will come, you understand? The soldiers would have to rally again to 45. Yeah? So we'll bring it to the most. Come
on. What do you think? Come on, let's get Deuteronomy chapter 31. Right, let's get verse 28. Right? Deuteronomy 31.
38, yeah.
So I can Deuteronomy 31 and verse 28.
31 and verse 28. Gather unto me elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears and call heaven and earth to record against.
Right. Jump to verse 12 as well. Right.
So this is Deuteronomy 31 and verse 12. Gather the people together.
Now stay at home.
Gather the together, men and children.
Not just the men.
Men and children, and thy stranger that is within thy gates, that they may hear and that they may learn and fear the Lord your God, and observe to do all the words of this law.
Right. See that? So, and this is obviously going into when the conquest of Canaan. Right? So they kind of got to hear this, man. Here, everyone got to gather together and right. It can't just one person's doing their own thing, right? Because when you have one man doing his own thing, man, right, you get confusion, right? Let's get Numbers 25, right? Because this was one man and he was doing his own thing, man, right? And Phineas have to kind of what's going on, right? Let's get Numbers chapter 25, and let's read from verse 7.
This is Numbers 25 and verse 7. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from amongst the congregation and took a javelin in his hand.
So the priest wasn't some old Edomite. Okay, no, good. And he started doing all of this, man. Right? Active, right? He kind of said, hold on. Smells like a heathen. Right? It might have been maybe an Edomite, right? Some Edomite, because they have that. It's bad smell, right? Kind of smells like an Edomite, right? Kind of through out the camp, right? He kind of, then he said, hold on. Yeah, it's that tent. And they kind of went to that tent, right? And he had a javelin, man. And it wasn't the Olympics, man. He's kind of, tell you that. Yeah, and he kind of took the run. Right? Let's read verse 8.
And he went after the man.
No, he didn't do nothing.
And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel.
And sometimes you might have some people, they can't. Right? Some people, they're now I'm going this way. Right? There's order and structure that the Most High set up for a congregation. For example, within 12 gates, there's obviously certain things and customs how you have set up. It's likewise of us. Someone's saying, no, we're doing it this way. They kind of come in with some secret book. I'm gonna say, hold on, where we get this from? Right? Kind of come, we're gonna read the book of Adam and Eve. Everyone kind of be like, where's that coming from? So you can't have your own mind. I'm doing my own thing, right? It's just secretly, and that's where when you're by yourself again, and you're not with brethren or sistering, right? You're gonna have that spirit, right? Let's get Hebrews 10 and start at verse 20. I'd say Hebrews 10, and let's start at verse number. Let's start.
10 and verse 22, let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith, in our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water.
Right. So again, when you come into the understanding, obviously you may get back. You say you want to get baptized, that's fine. But the real baptism is that conscience clean, right? So that conscience comes with not being some trying to individual. We have to have a nation mindset where one person that's accountable to all of us. One person, you kind of just imagine someone kind of, feast day. One brother says, "Okay, I'm bringing my own food." I say, whoa, check this guy. Who's this guy? He brings his packed lunch. He's opening it. Got all his food. They gotta say, hold on. Hey, the sister's made food, right? The brother's made food, right? He's moving in a mindset that's not really sanctified, man. Right? Go on.
Verse 23, let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised.
Right, so no one should shake your faith, right? I see someone say this, oh man, the Bible isn't true. No one should shake your faith at all,
God.
right? So that's like the Bible was saying about being rooted, and you have to be. Because remember, hey, you got to seek, and if you feel, okay, hold on, I seek your own son of salvation, go study it and say, okay, cool, I understand that. Yeah, well, hey, Paul and I think Paul and Barnabas, they kind of have to part ways, man. Because Paul, he wanted to do the work, and I think I think it was Barnabas, right? He kind of they kind of parted ways. He said, okay, cool, fine. They had, you go your way, I'm gonna go my way, right? But come on, let's read on.
Verse 24, and let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works.
Yeah.
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is,
Right.
but exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching.
So that's the spirit we got to have, right? To not forsake us. When there's any opportunities, even us coming together, I was like, hey, we have to, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a good bonding amongst, two congregations. Sometimes it's 3 or 4 congregations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For people to understand each other, learn how they came into the truth, how, what you're doing, because we're all that we have, essentially, because it's hard to work with someone that's in the world, right? They're not keeping the commandments. They're trying to charge you £50 extra, trying to charge you usury.
Great.
Now you're trying to say, hold on though, it says about not charging usury to your brother. He's like, oh, no, I don't believe that. So again, it's to be, because there's many people that, for example, many people that do different lines of work within, both congregations. You've got some people that are in law, right? Some people that are able to do fixing, right? Mechanical work, etc., etc. You have people, doctors, nurses, things like this. You got people that are able to do that. So we should be, what we have amongst us, where we come together, we should take advantage of that. Sincerely, this sister, even you should never not have friends. There's so many. There's many sisters, for example, like you got Fringe and Stitch, Tazpa's Rib, you got Lily Works, that's Peter's rib as well. She does the garment. She also got Ashley's wife, Shana, Covenant Clothing, right? And take advantage of that. Not trying to order fringes. Oh, it's from America. I need the ones from America.
Pay custom.
Yeah, right. We have what we have here, where we assemble together. Take advantage of that. What do you do for that? Oh, so and so. Because we should be putting each other on, essentially. In righteousness. Oh yeah, apply to. Like I said, when I see stuff from work, I'll send people that maybe don't have like the best job. Like, hey, go apply, man. Look at this. That's the mindset you gotta have. That's why coming together, that's important, man. Right?
Nah,
can't. Let's get 1 Peter 2, and let's start from verse number 16. Let's start. Yeah, 1 Peter. Let's start straight at the point. 1 Peter 2, and let's start at 17.
This is 1 Peter 2 and verse 17. Honor all men. Love the brotherhood.
No, hate your brother.
Love the brotherhood. Fear God.
Yep.
Honor the king.
Right. So, brotherhood. Oh no, I'm not really on that group chat spirit. Right. I'm not really trying to be around everyone like that. Yeah, I'm keeping it positive by myself. Right. So there's a difference right? It's a difference if obviously, like for example, we have brothers, sisters congregation that are in Martinique, that are in, scattered throughout Europe. It's different, you know what I'm saying? Brothers may not have, the funds to go and do that, but where you can, take advantage. And I'm staying at home, right? Just snuggled up with your rate, right? So you have to love the brotherhood, man. Right, brotherhood is a key important part. Let's get 2 Corinthians, I believe it's 7, and let's start at verse 13. Right, 2 Corinthians chapter 7, and let's read from verse 13.
This is 2 Corinthians 7, verse 13. Therefore, we are comforted in your comfort, yea, and exceedingly.
Hold on, Salakia. It says we're comforted in your comfort. Again, that's that presence, man. When you see people's faces come together, hey man, like even the last feast day, I was just standing there and smiling, man. You know, I missed that. I missed it though, but I was just standing there, just confounded. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know. No, can't. I was just kind of like confounded. Yeah, man. Just doing this, like the whole feast, you know, right? Because it's comfort when you're around people that are on the same mindset, wavelength, whatever you want to call it. Like, right. You know, let's read on.
1 Corinthians 7:13. Therefore, we are comforted in your comfort, yea, and exceedingly the more joyed we for the joy of Titus, because his spirit was refreshed by you all.
See that? So one person can't wait. You ever seen that person a long time, whatever? That person coming, and that could refresh your spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's what brotherhood does. You know what I'm saying? Let's get Psalms. And we can. Let's read on in that verse.
Verse 14, for if I have boasted anything to him of you, I am not.
So Paul is saying, I stand on what I say about that. He's different, right? Let's read on.
But as we spake all things to you in truth, even so our boast I made before Titus is found in truth.
Go on.
And his inward affection is more abundant toward you, whilst he remembereth the obedience of you all, how with fear and trembling ye received him.
See that? So Paul is telling the church of Corinth, man, right, that Titus, he has a remember the church of Corinth, to start off, when you read 1 Corinthians, they were going off. They were off, right? But and that's essentially why Paul was traveling to these different Israelite congregations, right, throughout Asia Minor, and he's telling them, look, they kind of strengthen the brethren. That's what the whole purpose of them going there and do. Oh yeah, how you remember they had, even when you read Acts 4, when it comes to the setting up of the church, man, the finances were done amongst themselves. They didn't go to Esau. Oh yeah, Herod, we need a load, right? We need a load, right? They didn't need that. They had each other to do that, right? Because they were again on one accord, and there's a good report, right? It's all about as well having that good name, man, right? You going from camp to camp. Yeah. What's his brother so and so? Oh yeah, he was off. Right? Don't have a bad name, man. Titus, have the spirit of Titus, man, where his presence refreshes, the other people. Right, it refreshes the congregation. Right? Let's read on. Get 3. Classic. Right? Classic.
This is Psalms 133 and verse 1. That's like Behold, how good and how pleasant is it for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garment.
Right. See that? Anyone? 3 or 3?
3. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion, for there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore.
Right. See that? So unity right? Again, going back to that point in that 2 Corinthians 7:13, right? Again, it refreshes you. Dew, when you know, like the dew is like in the morning on the grass, and that's kind of wet in it, right? That's what again, it's like because you didn't taste the dew, do you? But you can see what that does to you, man, right? Just like when you kind of someone like in a car wash or whatever, the water or whatever, you kind of might feel the drift kind of hit you, man. Yeah, you kind of you feel awake in that, right? So it's like the precious ointment, because again, even with the oil essentially, but obviously that's really what that's going into as well, right? And let's get another precept as well, right? So
And they put it right.
And that's how beautiful the Most High is saying that is. Us dwelling together in unity is like Aaron's beard, and how beautiful that is drips down.
Drip down.
Let's get as well 1 John chapter 1 and verse 3, right? For a what, man? Sweet smell, right? So if that's how brethren dwelling together is like, and that's in righteousness, you couldn't some people think, man. Not just literally, but some people stink, right? Yeah, they're good for nothing. Your mum don't hang around them people, man. They have a bad smell about them, right? Let's get
1 John chapter 1 and verse 3.
Yeah.
That which we have seen and heard declare we unto you, that ye also may have fellowship with us. And truly our fellowship is with the Father and with his Son, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
right, yeah. So having fellowship again is it's beautiful, right? Never ever reject. Well, again, I come down to your spiritual discernment. I don't. Someone said, yeah, we're gonna have some meat, and they all turn up and they all got hoods on, right? And they say, yeah, this is the outfit, this is the outfit thing, right? This is the that's madness. If you go and they say, oh well, I'm just here and your fringes, now you kind of fold in your fringes in, right? Because they might say, yeah, we need and they start talking about, oh yeah, we need a Hebrew Israelite for this sacrifice right here. They might do that, right? You got to be very spiritual discernment, man, when it comes to who you're linked to. You got to be so. Let's get Amos 3 verse 3. You sure you don't have it?
Yeah. This is the book of This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and verse. I'll start at 43. 2nd Ezra 6 and 43. As thy word diverse pleasures for the taste, and flowers of unchangeable color, and odors of wonderful smell, and this was done the third day. So yeah, even like the brother was saying about the smell as well, that's a pleasant thing,
right?
Like smelling a field full of like lavender or all sorts of flowers. That's beautiful,
right?
That is same as brethren, like brothers and sisters dwelling in unity,
right? With Solomon, right? Chapter 4, and let's get verse 10. Right, and obviously this is a dark saying. That same point. Even incense, man. The one he's swinging the incense, man. Right, some people doing this, man.
They're
trying to hide it. But then you have the heathen. Right. The heathen will kind of Yeah. I'm telling you, where can I buy that? That's like asking the other man. Right? 'Cause it's such a pleasant and beautiful smell.
And just a little clip as well, there's a few of them that actually say, yeah, we. And so they're burning our stuff. People don't like it. They're heathens. They're rolling in it in their country.
Right. Right. It's Songs of Solomon.
Oh, wisdom.
So like Songs of Solomon.
Come.
Songs of Solomon.
Songs of Solomon, chapter 4 and verse 10.
Let's wait. Just a little bit. Right. So like, I'm gonna sort of yeah. Right. Come. All right.
This is the book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 4 and verse 10.
Yeah.
How fair is thy love,
Yeah.
my sister, my son, is thy love than wine, and the smell of thine ointment than all spices.
See that? So that's going into wisdom, right? Because wisdom is a woman, right? It's your mother, your sister.
Right.
But the point is, right? And obviously, it's brothers, right? Now you don't want a woman that stinks, right? Just say it plain, right? Likewise, sister, you don't want a man. Oh, you smell bad. Oh yeah, it's kind of doing this, right? You're caught in. Yeah, no, Salaki, something's come up, right? Now you're kind of running with your dress and that, right? Salaki, right? But again, the smell, right? It says, how much better is thy love than wine? Because that's even wine is a good taste to
Yeah, and smell.
Right, see that? Right? It says, and the smell of thine ointments and all spices. Because again, you know, like Brother Peter, you know, he has a, what do you call it, man? I think he calls it the Girl Sugar White. The Girl Sugar. Like, that's the name of the oil. It's the Girl Sugar, right? Because it's got a sweet smell to it, right? And you see, you know, the ouds, man, right? These things are sweet smelling, right? So that's that same point. That's how unity and dwelling together is likened unto. Let's read on.
Verse 11, thy lips, O my spouse, drop as the honeycomb. Honey and milk are under thy tongue, and the smell of thy garments is like the smell of Lebanon. A garden enclosed is my sister, my spouse, a spring shut up, a fountain sealed.
Right, because again, you don't want a garden. Everyone can see what's inside your garden. You do it this Esau, you know, because you know certain fences in the UK, you can slide the fences up. You kind of slide them up and you're kind of looking under the gaps, right? You don't want somebody doing that, right? Let's read on.
Come, thy plants are an orchard of pomegranates with pleasant fruits, camphire and spikenard,
Go on.
spikenard and saffron, calamus and cinnamon, with all trees of frankincense, myrrh and aloes, with all the chief spices.
Yeah. So again, that's going into that same pleasant smells, even things that you see. That's what that ointment that is produced by, you know, brethren and sisters dwelling together, right? There was a precept I think I called Amos 3, right? We can go to Amos 3, right? We go to Amos 3, and you start at verse 1. You want to hear that?
This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for your iniquity.
Right, and that's we as a people go through what we go through, right? We are being judged by the Most High, right? And even to this day, he kept the Sabbath day, and he's still gonna go through tribulation, trials. Again, it's not Christianity where it just has to be going right. Hey, that's a false reality, right? Let's read on.
Verse 2, no, it's like verse 3. Can two walk together except they be?
Can't. So again, that comes back to being, got to be on the same accord, man. right? We've got to come with a sincere spirit, a sincere heart, right? Let's get Ecclesiastes, Sirach, chapter 1, and I think we start from 28, right? You come in come sincere, right? Again, you are, what's this? I always say this to like brothers, well, you have to be the change that you want to see. You want to push for coming together, and that you got to be the one to actually kind of confess that, man, and profess it, right? No point saying, "Oh, wait, you guys, let's meet up or whatever," and you're still at home, man, right? You're just at home, you're doing nothing, right? You just always talk. Now I was saying this to me as well last night, right? You're saying, let's put it down on paper. There's no point just saying it. A lot of people like to say stuff, and there's no fruits that come of just. We're just gonna just, and then when you say Lord willing all the time, it's Lord willing, right? Don't say that. I'm not saying that. Don't say it. I'm saying it. Instead, people start to say, "I am gonna be there, Lord willing," and they knew for sure they were never gonna turn up. Lord willing, I'll be there. He's smiling, giggling. Soon he turns around and does this, right? He's never turned it up. Lord willing, right? Say it with sincerity, man. Right, let's read that.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 28. Distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor, and come not with a double heart. What? With a double heart.
So you can't be thinking this way, you're thinking that way. You can't have that kind of mindset, right? And that's why, again, brotherhood is important. Because brothers, again, and obviously, with age, right? Age spiritually and literal age, right? Comes the ability to discern. I know that, like for mums especially, your mum will know when you're doing something wicked, man. She can smell it.
She can see it.
She can see it.
Right?
Do you know? You kind of, what are you hiding? She kind of lean forward. What are you hiding? She's gonna look you up and down. Where are you getting up to? Where'd you come from? Kind of screw you in that. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then mums know it. That's that discernment, man. Spiritual, you'll be able to see, right? You can read on.
Verse 29. Yeah. Be not an hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall and bring dishonor upon thy soul, and so God discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit.
Right? And let's get Leviticus, get some below, man. Leviticus 19 verse 11. Come with deceit, right? I was gonna deceive everyone. Right, and sometimes he's kind of, obviously how he knew, but hey, Judas was he's coming together. It's that day. Hold on, how much is that? That's Judas had that.
How much was that bottle of wine?
He sure he can't auction that. Right, that's what Judas had.
So even today, like the younger generation, they say, yeah, I want to get that back. That's a new saying as well.
See, right? Let's get Leviticus 9 verse 11. Right?
This is the book of chapter 19 and verse 11. Ye shall not steal, neither deal, neither lie one to another.
Right? And then that's very exegesis. And that's why, again, brotherhood, straight up. If people something wrong or whatever, and you say it, but saying it, it's the way you say it. Sometimes people have to say like that, man. Right? Come on, man. Right? Let's go jump to verse 17.
This is Leviticus 19 and verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Right.
I am the Lord.
Straight up and down. How you want to be treated, treat others how you want to be treated. Like,
Right.
and I say this for me personally, brother corrects me, I don't mind. Like, you have to be straight up, you know, as brothers and sisters, right? Just be straight up. Don't feel, okay, well, you start doing this, I don't know how he's gonna take it if I say this. Hey, just say it, right? Kind of got a man up and say it, man, right? But can't. You said?
Yeah, can't. I'll just again in sticking to the law. This is Exodus 20 and verse 16. It says, "Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor." So that's just plain, you know. If you're not gonna tell them about it, then you are actually, in a sense, you're kind of lying,
Right.
You know, if you're not gonna rebuke someone, it's like you're having respect for a person,
Right.
You know? So it all matches up with the law.
Let's get Ephesians 4 and 26. Right? Get Ephesians 4 and 26.
This is Ephesians, the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 26.
Yeah.
Be ye angry and sin not.
Yeah. So straight up and down, you hold it in, man. That's if the more you hold up against your man, the more that spirit harbors up. And then you kind of say, you know, Kid Buu. I don't know if people know, but in Dragon Ball Z, right? You had a Kid Buu, right? The pink. I don't know if anyone knows. You might not know, but he kind of used to just expand.
Yeah.
Right? You just harboring more thoughts and thoughts. Oh, man, they don't like me. They don't like me. They hate me. They think I'm this. You just having that until you just lash out. So that's why there's no sin to being angry as well. Because it's a sin to be angry. This is not Christianity. And they say, it's not the fruits of the spirit, right? Somebody hit your car. You're gonna say, turn the other cheek. Yeah, you hit my car. You kind of might be mad if you don't say nothing. You're gonna go home now. You're telling your wife. You're saying, "Oh yeah, this guy." Now I'm doing this. You punch in the bed. Your wife's just kind of looking at you like this, like this guy's not alright because you're just holding it in. It's good to express yourself, man. Right? Might be like even say you got, but you have to have control of your spirit, though, nonetheless. Right? Don't just you're just angry all the time, man. You go to the brother's house. You're just punching holes in the wall, man. Right? It's off. That's off. Right? Is there more on that?
Yeah. It's Ephesians 4:26.
Yeah.
Be ye angry and sin. Let not the sun.
So don't just apologize, man. You know, say you done something wrong. Apologize. All right, brother corrected you. You felt a way about it. Yeah, no, I kind of got a little bit mad. He corrected me, but it is what it is. Right, that's what brothers are for. You can't. No, and I say this, you know, from get my perspective. If you, it's good to argue. That's what I'll say. It's good to argue, right? It's actually, I'd say it's good to argue because that's when really it tests, you know, again, like it's compatibility, you know. And I would say, okay, go home, and now you say, oh, brother, compassion, go and argue, right? Now you're trying it out. Right, trying to argue, right? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying in terms of if you just someone just a yes man, you're saying yes. Start taking, like, brother, can I take your car? And let me just, I'm gonna have to borrow your car. You better say yes. Okay, come. Right, no, it's yeah, yes, man. Can't even say no. What are you doing? Right? It's good to if everything's just yes. Right? Can't be soft, man. Don't be soft. Right? You got a preset. What did I call, sorry?
You went to Ephesians.
There's more on that, I think.
Yeah. I'll read the 26 again. Ephesians 4 and 26. Be ye angry and sin not.
Yeah.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath, neither give place to the devil.
Right, because that's where that mind games comes in. Right, that's where the mind games comes in. Right? Because now you're thinking, now I'm thinking how I'm gonna. Right, I'm thinking how I'm gonna get my lick back, right? My GBG, right? We start, I'm gonna get my lick back. This is not damn Batman, man. Right? You think, I'm gonna that Joker and that, or these villains, man. You have to get them back, right? Or what's his movie, man? Was it with the shotgun in it and society,
Oh yeah.
right? He's thinking, and he kind of because of probably seen the movie, right? Men's Society. You kind of see him again, and then that right? That's that lick back for it, man. Right? He said, "Come, let's go. Come on."
Genesis 4, 6 and 7.
Yeah, you can read all the way down. You can read all the way down for that. That's a perfect example.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 6. It says, "And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou do well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him." And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him.
Oh God. So basically, the sin is at the door, the devil is at the door waiting, crouching. He's waiting for that little inch. And I say, I gotcha. And he's waiting there, and you could just, when you read it, he was waiting for, Cain was waiting to kill Abel, because what Abel brought
the right thing,
the right things that, what Yahweh did like, and what did Cain brought? The least. That's right. The lame, right? God.
We could even read on as well.
Verse 9. "And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? Right. And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?"
So the spirit that he had is off. Oh yeah, like what? My brother? I don't look after him. He's a grown man. Yeah. It's off. That's off. Right? I don't know where he is. It's like when you was younger, right? Maybe your siblings and that used to kind of fight. Your sibling, he kind of had he's bleeding. The mom asked you, "What happened?" What happened? I didn't do nothing. He's a baby. Stop making excuses. You know what happened, man. He was down playing yes. Right? Trying to suplex each other or whatever, man. Now you're trying to say, I don't know what happened. Right? Accountability, man. And Brotherhood, there's accountability. Right? Can't just run off here. Now nothing happened, man. They say don't throw stones and hide your hands. Right? So let's even read right? Well, let's get John 8. Right? Let's get John 8. Right? Good. Can't. All right, let's get John 8 and let's get verse John 8 and let's start at verse 40.
This is the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 40. "But now you seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth."
Right, and people that get offended at what's true, like with the spirit that the Pharisees, the Sadducees, and the scribes, not all of them had, they say we got to kill this guy. He's talking too much. Right? When you read, I like to always call it like one of the best verses ever written. Right? When you read Matthew 23 and Matthew 24, right? Yahushua is scorning the Pharisees and saying, "You're hypocrites for this and that," and they say, "Oh, this guy, you have to get rid of him." Yeah. Because he's talking too much. Yeah. How did he learn this? Yeah. Right? So again, Yahushua is saying in verse 40, like, you're trying to kill me because I'm telling you the truth. Shouldn't be offended. Brother kind of tell you, "Hey, you need to calm down a bit." That brother kind of got into me the other day. He said, "Hey, you swear a lot." I was like, "Oh yeah, I kind of that's the truth." That's the cut. Kind of got to deal with it. That's that. Right? Let's read on.
Verse 41. "Ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, We be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even God." Yahushua said unto them, "If God were your father, you would love me, for I forth and came from God, neither came I of myself, but he sent me.
Go on.
Why do ye not understand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my word?
Right. You can't perceive what Yahweh is actually breaking down to them.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's simple. People get offended, start blocking. Brothers kind of they in the truth, leave the truth. And they start unfollowing everyone in the congregation. Yeah, and it's weird. Right? It's proper weird, man.
Verse 44, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning,
Yep.
and abode not in the, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and father of it.
Right? So I was telling them, look, this is the truth is here. You can't go deal with that. Right? That's going back to Cain. Right? Cain was he's off. Right? He was off. He killed his brother. Right?
That's it.
He had that evil eye. Right? Let's get that as well. Deuteronomy 28. What's that evil eye spirit? Oh yeah, nah. Right? Why does this guy have so much money? Right? It's off. I don't think that.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
Right? See that? So on the left hand side, that's what you have today. Our brothers, they have evil eye towards each other. Just like Cain, right, with Abel, just like Jacob and Esau, right? You have that, man. Right, let's get Sirach 25 and 1. But we're not in the spirit of confusion where you can't be an individualite in this truth. It's always good to have sisters, brothers around you that can give correction, guidance, elders as well. How do you deal with your marriage? Right? It's useful to have this, right? Like for I'm quite young, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Right? Kind of have elders in the truth. What's the key to you and your marriage and how long you've been together? That's the whole point of having, right? If you just use your own mindset to make decisions, right? I'm thinking maybe I'll move here or whatever. It's always good to someone, a counselor. Yeah, it's always good to do that. You know, you might call Peter, like sometimes I call Peter, ask Peter, okay, what do you think of so? Kind of, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You might have sisters that do that, right? It says, remember, it's about love, the brotherhood, right? But let's read that Sirach 25 and 1.
Sirach 25 and verse 1. In 3 things I was beautified and stood up beautiful, both before God and men. The unity of brethren,
The what?
love of neighbors, a man that agree together.
Right. Things gathering together. The comfort that we give to around. Your presence. Sometimes it might not have to really, but you got Peter? Can't.
No.
You good? Okay.
Yeah, go on.
And let's get the book of Matthew, chapter 5. Let's start at verse 43. 55 and verse 43.
This is the book of 5 and verse 43. We have heard that thou shalt love thy neighbor, but love your enemies, bless them that do good to them that and persecute you.
Right. So, about the man that on the slave ship, right? Just imposing what you think it is. In Leviticus 19, we read Leviticus 19 and 2. So, when it comes to your brother, love sometimes can be hard, right? You can, and there's no God forgives. That's off. It's off. That's off. Right? Trying to lyrics to justify yourself. God forgive. Right? Who are you?
And the Tupac spirit.
Yeah, it's off. That's off. 6 and 2. Right? You supposed to each other, man. I can do it now.
This is the First Corinthians chapter 2.
Yep.
Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
Right.
And if the world shall be judged by ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
Right. So we have to be able to judge amongst ourselves. Right. Nah. It's us. Yeah. Come together and argue it. Might argue it. Right? Might, this eternally leaders, bro. Delete them and you block. Right? Block it. Right? Change the name to do not answer. It's off. Childish. Right?
Exodus chapter 23. And for
this is the chapter 23. So for Exodus 24. If thou meet thine hands off or his arse going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again.
God.
If thou see the arse of him that hateth thee, his burden, and wouldest forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help with him.
God, that's loving our brother.
Right.
That's loving our brother. If he's not loving you, we must support him. And that would change it. That would change it. To see that what he's done to you, you're doing good to him. That would change the spirit. So, God.
So it's like they say in the world, and it kill them with kindness. Because what can you do? And if someone's like, really, you hate this person, but he's showing you nothing but love, you've got to have a conscience in you, unless you're Esau or somebody's other nation. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And let's go to Proverbs chapter 17. Right. Let's get Proverbs 17. And let's start from verse.
This is the book of Proverbs 17 and verse 13. Whoso rewardeth evil for good, not depart from his house. The beginning of strife is as when one letteth out. Therefore leave off contention before it be meddled with.
Right, go on.
He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Lord thy God.
So hey man, let's read all the way down. Read down.
16. Wherefore is there a hand of a fool to get wisdom, seeing he have no heart to it? A friend loveth at times.
No, just sometimes.
A friend all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
See that? When it comes to brotherhood, we don't justify the wicked. You know what I'm saying? Right? Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Just keep doing that. Because again, even just as the same guy that's doing the wicked, hey, we're an abomination. Right? So again, that comes down to when being a friend, meaning you want to see a friend right as well. Right? You don't want to just keep on being a bum. Right? It's just we condone it, but keep on being a bum. Right? Like, you don't want to have, because that spirits like that again affects the whole body. Right? And Israel, so again, one part of the body, your arm, I don't know, let's say your arm is infected or whatever. Right? Well, they back in, they want to chop it off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I can't let that spread. and kind of chop it off, and you just be a maim. I think the word is. I think, right?
Yeah.
Let's read on as well.
Verse 18, a man void of understanding striketh hands and become a surety in the presence of his friend. He loveth transgression, that loveth strife, and he that exalteth his gate seeketh destruction.
Yeah, so a man, if you're void of understanding, somebody trying to tell you anything, you don't want to hear that. So again, you just contention, strive, love that. You don't want to, okay, let me hear what this brother has to say. All right? You hear what someone has to say, then just review. Let's get chapter 6. Chapter 6 tells your friends, man. Tells you about, and you're willing with, even when you look at Saul and David, that's a good account, man. It tells you the Saul, he was a hater. He was a hater.
Yeah.
Right?
David
David kind of was like, kind of just sat there, just
doing these things.
just played part.
Yeah.
Right? But we'll get to that account. Let's read Sirach 6, and let's read Sirach 6. Let's start at verse. Not Sirach 6 though. Sirach 6, and we'll read from verse. Because we can this whole chapter essentially kind of goes into let's start at verse let's start at verse right. Let's start at Sirach 6, and let's start at 7.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 7.
Yeah.
If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
Right. So even maybe even your sister, right? You're courting a brother. Likewise, a brother courting a sister. I don't want to marry him. You're cool, right? Prove each other. Even to this day, you know what I'm saying? Those married, you prove it. You still prove each other, right? And you're helping. Maybe your husband. You kind of certain things you notice, or you notice with your wife. You're always helping each other. You're proving each other. You kind of calm down a bit. Right? It even tells you about in verse 5 about sweet language multiplies friends. You know what I'm saying? So can I just calm down a bit? And just like a woman literally, like you have women spiritually, man. A woman, which is really like wisdom, as well, like I said, right? That, like it says, when you read the book of First Esdras, I believe it's I think it's told you that a woman is very strong.
Yeah.
A woman could come in here and confound everyone right now, right? Now brother's kind of getting up, okay, yes, miss, standing up and leaving, right? But nonetheless, let's read on.
But for some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
So when you're going through it, and that's like treat others like you want to be treated. When you're going through it, like no one's there, right? No one's there when you're going through it. No one's checking on you, and that's why you got to check on each other. Even 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You don't know how that could change someone's or kind of raise someone's spirit up, man. Let's read on.
Verse 9, and there is a friend who being turned to enmity and strife will discover thy reproach.
Go on.
Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction.
So when you're, it's wicked, man. Right? You're up, you got your whatever, and you're doing well. As soon as you start, I got fired. Oh yeah, no, it's lucky. I just shut the phone off, man. Right? Right? It's off. Right? Let's read on.
Verse 11, but in thy prosperity he will be as thyself, and will be bold over thy servants.
Yeah, read on.
If thou be brought low, he will be against thee, and will hide himself from thy face.
See that? So when it's the juxtaposition of you in that position, when you're up, he's there, but when you're not, he's not there to be seen. And that's not a real brother. It says in Proverbs 17:17, your brother is built for adversity. You know what I'm saying? So when you're going through it, it's weird going through it. You know what I'm saying? That's essentially how it should be. you know, a brother kind of, you know, whatever situation he may be facing, right? Like even in my line of work, you know, how we communicate, we won't say that they. We obviously, when we say we, it makes it like it's an inclusive thing. So it's like we're doing this together, you know what I'm saying? And that obviously helps. Yeah, and the mindset that they're not alone. Essentially, we have to have that same mindset, feeling away or whatever. And gotta be checking in, man. Oh, what's going on? Or how is everything? Or blah blah blah. Right? You gotta do that.
Go on.
Right? Let's jump to verse 17.
Verse
16 first, 16.
Verse 16, a faithful friend is the medicine of life, and they that fear the Lord shall find him. Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright, for as he is, so shall his neighbor be also.
Right, straight up and down, man. So, you know, how, again, like it says about, just again, treat others how you want to be treated. How I see this brother and how I treat him is essentially how I want to be treated. You know, same way how you treat your wife, right? You know, you're always getting onto your rib, she's going to be doing the same thing to you, you know, right? You welcome that and invite that, you know, by what you do. And let's get that account in 1 Samuel as well. Do anything to? No, right? Let's get 1 Samuel chapter, I want to say 18. 1 Samuel 18. Okay, 1 Samuel 18, and let's start at verse. And you should, when a brother is doing well or sister doing well, you should like praise that, man. You know what I'm saying, right? And you know, Muslims, man, they will say, when they see someone doing well, and they say that it's to do with like, so that they don't envy the person. They'll say like that word.
Yeah, that it'd be like us saying, so like it's cut you. Like it'd be like us saying when you see someone, like, all praises to the Most High. Right, you know, you know. And if you, like going back to when you said you was coming in, you know, when you see people and they're doing well and they're enjoying themselves, it kind of rubs on you. If you see everyone smiling and laughing, you can't be there all upset and
Just like that.
like boy in the corner spirit. You know what I'm saying? So it rubs off on us.
100,
you know,
100%. Right. Let's go to 1 Samuel 18, and we'll start at verse 7. Right. This is an example of someone's envy, man, that evil life. Right. Let's read that.
1 Samuel 18 and verse 7. And the woman and the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul has slain his thousands and David his 10,000.
So and even on that point, that's how you know they have to be black. I'm sorry, like, they have to be black, right? Because when you read, you kind of like, hold on, are they singing about him? Are they singing about him? What about me? Right?
Jake spirit.
That's the Jake spirit. That's the Jake spirit. I didn't putting too much shine on his name, man. You got, what about me, man? You got to respect my thing. Let's start doing this. Right? Let's read on.
Verse 8. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him, and he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the king?
See that? So he's like, hold on. This, but starts he's trying to count. I mean, now Saul probably can't be killed. David done wrong. He's kind of getting mad. He's kind of slamming. Probably looked at Jonathan. Yo, tell him to stop singing that song. Right? 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 Why they singing? Why they always just singing about him for? That's that evil eye spirit, man. You don't really love your brother, right? You hate him. You should be like, yeah, we done. That's all praises, man. Right? Everyone has a different lot, right? Saul tried to go above and beyond. That's why when you read a few chapters on, and he had to call up the witch of Endor, man. Samuel, what do I do? Samuel just tried to. Samuel's dead. He just like, leave him be, trying to raise him up. I need help. Oh, right. Let's read on. So back here.
Verse 9. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward.
See that? Go on. So, because he eyed him kind of What's that movie? I don't know what movie. There's a movie when the guy says, "Oh, I'm about to drop a dime on these." You know, I don't know. You know the movie I'm talking about.
I've heard it, but I can't remember
I don't know what movie it is, but he kind of says, "I'm gonna have to drop a dime on these." You know, right? Let's read on. Let's read on.
Verse 10, and it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house, and David played with his hand at other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand.
So that's how you know, right? That's that's nigga mindset, man. You have to say it like that, right? You see, Jake, he kind of watching him. He's kind of holding his thing there. He's like, we gonna rob these people, right? He's just doing this. He's kind of, and that's where because there's an evil spirit that was in him. So he's kind of doing this with the javelin. He's kind of holding it. He's kind of maybe sharpening it, and he's looking at David. David, he's just doing his thing. Probably, you know, at work, you can kind of tell. There's always that one. Some Edomite kind of just looking far. You kind of just sense it. You don't look. You know, you can kind of just see it like in the corner of your eye that hey, looking at you like that. You know, or they say sometimes they say like your ears kind of like they flicker or something. Someone
or they get hot.
Yeah,
your ears are burning.
So Saul was kind of just like, this guy, man.
Yeah.
There's something about this guy. What is he doing? I'm not doing. If he's javelin in his hand, man, just an evil spirit. It's not brotherly love. Remember, Saul was supposed to know the commandment. It's about not hating your brother. So that's how you know when you don't really love your brother, you're so far gone. Right? Let's read on.
Verse 11, and Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice.
Read on.
And Saul was afraid of David.
And
Saul was afraid of David because the Lord was with him and was departed from Saul.
Yeah, so because he kind of said, yeah, I got him, I'm gonna kill him. And the Most High, let's get Psalms 34:7. Most High was kind of sent angels to put it on David's spirit so that he kind of probably weaved, man. Right? The javelin came and he probably done that, man. Right? Let's read that.
This is Psalms 34, verse 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
See that? So the angels, they are around those that fear the Most High. That's why Saul had an evil spirit. And Saul was like, hold on, how did this guy avoid? Right? So again, the angels of the Most High, they protect you, man. Angels, when you when you read accounts of like when you read Daniel 3, where they were cast into the fiery furnace, that was gathering together, man. They all gathered together. Say, yeah, hold on. That's probably where they got the Three Musketeers from. Right? Maybe I'm ringing it, but maybe they did, right? Maybe they got it from that, the Three Musketeers, because they all said, hold on, right? If we're all going down, right? If one of us goes, they're all going down. All of us. Right? They just say, okay, well, kind of one of them, kind of maybe Shadrach, he said Abednego and Mishael, he said, you know what, nah, man, you lot, I'm gonna kind of bow down to this thing, right? You lot do your thing. Remember, the Lord said two is better than one. Yeah, right. I'm gonna read it.
No, but I was just gonna point out when they prayed together as one. They all prayed together as one man.
Right,
you know? So that's like you're saying, it came together on fire.
Right. Let's even
just to go with the envy. Ecclesiastes 30. Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and 24. That's short in our life.
This is the book of Sirach 30 and verse 24. Envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time.
Yeah, man. That's why. Yeah, man. You can't just walk around just mad everywhere. Just angry. Just walking around with a screw face. You're gonna get wrinkles, man. Right? Just walking around angry, mad at the world, man. You know what I'm saying? Right? Let's get as well. You got precept. Let's go to Daniel. We'll read that account. We're trying to get a few more kind of wind down. We'll let you go on. Come on. Let's get Daniel chapter 3 and let's get verse number Daniel 3 and get Daniel 3 and let's start from verse 17.
This is Daniel, the book of Daniel, chapter 3 and verse 17.
Start at 16.
Verse 16, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter.
Because obviously, you know, coming before the king could just say, yo, kill these guys right now. So they said, look, and this time, obviously, you know, we understand you lot got your thing, but hey, hold on, we're not bowing down to you lot's thing. So we're not gonna just hold our peace and just say nothing, right?
Select 17. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king.
Right, see that? So they said, look, they probably all said it all together, man, right? In unison, right? Like the temptations, right? Probably, you know, but, right? We can read on.
But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship thy golden image thou hast set up.
Right, see that? One accord. They will all speak.
Got it. Yeah, got it.
Can't.
This is the book of the songs of the three holy children. Yeah, verse 27. Straight to the point. It says, "Then the three, as out of one mouth, praise, glorify, and bless God in the firmament." And that's the prayer of Azariah when we read the whole of it. So they spoke as one, you know.
Even the precept on that. Let's get. I think it's First Samuel. First, let's get First Samuel. No, Second Samuel. So that right, because it says that they spoke as one man. There's a precept in Second Samuel which told that Israel was gathered as one man. You know this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it's Samuel. Let's get Second Samuel 19 and 14.
This is the book of Samuel, chapter 19. And he bowed out the heart to the heart, so that they said,
I don't know it all. I have the Bible to, that's why we have the scriptures to guide us through this, you know. So all praises to the Most High, and you know that's what we should really be aiming for in all of us, to have the fruits of the Spirit. If you read above, you see all those things above, you know, from verse 19, 12, you know, and that's where our people are at the moment. That's where they would rather that's their spirit at this time. Okay. You want to keep it?
Yeah, I can't. All praises to the Most High. This is the book of Hebrews, 4, and I'll start at 1. It says, "Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us, entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. For unto us the gospel preached as well as unto them, but the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. For we which have believed do enter into rest, as he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world." So yeah, we need to basically have that fear of the Most in order to enter into that rest that he has for us. But again, like you said, this is not our rest. So there's nothing to be happy about here, even if some are still doing a bit well off in this life. It's only of the Most High, really.
God.
But this is not it. This is it. You know what I mean? When we see our people up and down on the street, you know, I see it every day. I'll be driving and I'll see, you know, a Jake or Eve come up to the window, like just, you know,
down.
yeah, and it's sad. It's very sad, you know. But yeah, that's that.
I got one more. Right, let's get Matthew 18, right, and verse 15. Man. This is kind of the end or be all, I think, in this verse. Right, I'm kind of reading as well. Get Matthew 18. Sorry, 15. This is how you deal with, you know, your brother, man. That's how you deal with, your brother. You know, you had an art. Now you're trying to write a blog. Writing a blog. This write a blog. You're putting an Instagram post up. You screenshot his picture. You say, this guy, yeah, he's a demon. Right? He done this. He right?
And that's right within Israel.
Yeah. That social media stuff.
Yeah.
Blasted.
Yeah. See that? Right? Yeah. What else? Slacker King. People go to people's houses, man. Facebook Live. Right? The Facebook Live in the thing, and they brought with their friends. That's madness, man. That's that emotional spirit. You don't want to have that kind of spirit, especially with something that's an actual offense, man, as well. Right, let's read Matthew 18 verse 15, brother.
This is Matthew 18 verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If thou shalt hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
So don't go and put it on your WhatsApp status, man. You put it on your WhatsApp status. Oh yeah, Chantel, she's a what so and so. Right? And people are liking the post. I know people love drama, man. Love drama. Oh yeah, who's Chantel? Who's Chantel? What did Chantel do? Right? Should I get my cousin? Right? Go and tell that person, you and that person, I love it. Preferably in person as well.
God.
You don't want to, oh yeah, it's texting and they're saying, what did you mean when you said that? You're trying to say it because text can get misconstrued. You know? You kind of say something to your rib, she's like, what? Are you trying to be rude? And you never meant that. Now all hell's breaking loose. Right? So go and tell them, preferably in person. Right, let's read on.
Verse 16, but if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
Right, and then that he's still being, or she's still being off, and going to, get 2 or 3 other people, and they judge the matter via what it says in the law. Right? That's how you judge the matter. I think he should have done it. Well, it's not I think, let's judge it via the precepts, right? Let's read it.
Verse 17, and if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man
Yeah.
and a publican.
So he's,
Yeah.
you know, he's not. He's off. He's off. He's
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Someone that doesn't want to. Anyone that loves contention, like I said in Proverbs 17, they love sin. Anyone that has, they just argue. They don't know how to reason.
Yeah,
Right? That's a lack of emotional intelligence.
yeah.
To not able to. Okay, let's talk about it. No. Just let's. That's how our people they die a lot because of that as well. Because contention. Now you're on, I don't know, the wood green strip, and you're damn fencing each other, man. Because let's talk about it. I mean, we're great at expressing, but there's times where the thing that we use to express ourselves is so terrible, right? So terrible, so negative, you know. So go and talk, right? Learn how to talk and communicate with your brother or your sister, man, right? Let's read. Jump down to 21. And we'll end on these two precepts.
Matthew 18 and verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times?
Right, saying maybe, you know, 7, we know 7's completion. Right, saying maybe I'll just forgive him. Maybe, you know, 7, maybe, right, it's obviously, what's the word? It's not to be taken literally. Obviously, but Peter, remember, they're still learning as well from Yahushua. So, sure, 7 times I forgive them. Right? What did Yahushua say?
Therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened
Verse 22,
Salakia. Verse 22, Salakia. Yahushua saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
Right, and that doesn't just mean, okay, you add it up. Now you're trying to calculate, okay, 70 times 70. I don't know how much that is. And then say, okay, and it's I don't know, so I feel like 70,000 or something, maybe. You get to the last one, and you say, okay, that's it. No more forgive. No, that's BS, man. Right? It means always have the spirit to forgive. If someone's done you wrong, right? Hey, forgive, man, but it doesn't mean now you have to be around that person. Right? We let's remember that. Just because you forgive someone, right? And they're trying to use a precept. Look, see, he says, gather together. These times, this guy destroyed your household, right? Done what he done, right? Oh, yeah, now gather together, king. Hey, I can love you from a distance, right? That's just discernment. You ain't going to be with a guy that stole your wife, right? Oh, yeah, let's gather together, king. And he's smiling and he's dapping you up. And he's bought that same lady. You lose the plot, right? So you can love somebody from a distance, right? That's all right, right? But nonetheless, right? Forgiveness, man. You know what I'm saying, right? But still gather together, nonetheless, man. But hey, with that, say, hey, all praise to the Most High, man.
God,
All praise to the Most High. God.